What is going on, guys? It's Stab, and today we are back with what is essentially part 2 of the Stab League Season 4 application. Hopefully you guys have checked out the main video. This is mainly for people who are more interested in the Surge format specifically. It is a brand new format, so we kind of felt that a separate video was needed to kind of work out some of the potentially more complicated aspects of Surge format, but after you guys see exactly what's going on here, I don't think you guys will find it that complicated at all. That being said, our man Balfrey is back. He is returning for this portion of the video as well.
What is it going on, everybody? Happy to...
I know you're really excited for Search format, so...
Dude, I love Search. Just hearing about Search format.
See, he's never played it, and he's already hyped. This is exactly the kind of attitude we're looking for in the Stab League. Anyway, guys, so leading off here, we kind of have a general explanation of what Surge format is. I kind of touched this already, but it's based on the draft format that we all know and love. But it is a slightly new format that hopefully will appeal to a wider audience and just make people excited to kind of experience draft format in a new way. It's a budget-based draft, so unlike the Stab League sort of main portion of the league, it is kind of restricted in that sense. You'll have a certain amount of points you get to spend on your team each week, and we'll kind of go from there. You'll have a base budget of 50 points. Basically, you gotta have 6 to 8 mons on your team at all times. You could have 6, you could have 7, you could have 8, but you do have to use 50 points initially to get as many mons as you can. So you'll definitely have to have at least 6. And then how we'll have it is the draft board will kind of dictate which point tiers are available on which weeks. And then the amount of points you have will gradually increase each week throughout the season. We have a section explaining the transaction process that Balfrey will go over later in this video, but know that you're not stuck with 50 points the whole time. It's intended to capitalize on the fun of drafting a new team each week. If you're like me, one of my favorite parts of being in a draft format, being in a season, and being in a league is getting to draft. Basically, we'll have a mini draft each week, and you'll get to upgrade your team through that draft. So that should be pretty fun. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Balfrey so he can explain how the transaction period is going to work in Surge format.
Alright, you guys. So, the transaction, super easy once it's explained to you. So, at the end of the week, your budget increases, and in the Surge League, your points are gonna increase by 5 to 10 points. They'll alternate every week, and which is gonna give you even more points to draft new and better Pokemon every single week. As Stab mentioned, you gotta have 6 to 8 Pokemon drafted at all times, and the draft order will be the inverse standing based on that current week. And remember that you must release Pokemon to meet your budget needs. In fact, this is encouraged. Release as many Pokemon as you can. Brand new, who cares? You drafted a Pokemon last week, get rid of it the next week if you want to. There are absolutely almost no rules on that front. So, I mean, it's a very simple transaction. I think it's gonna, like Sab said, it's just gonna add in the fun of drafting onto this, and I'm excited to see some unused Pokemon get used more frequently.
For those of you who are more visual, we've also included this picture here. It doesn't have the exact budget because this was actually based off the TTM Surge format tournament that they held. That was only a 5-round tournament, so the point values are going to be a little bit different, but basically you're going to have 50 points to start, and then only Pokemon priced at 10 points and below are available. Basically, you're going to be limited on which Pokemon are available each week, based on the budget requirements and what you have available. This increases 10 to 15, but like I said, we're going to do 5 to 10 just because our season is longer. But pretty much by week 10, you're going to have everything that's available on the draft board allowed, and you'll be able to make your team off of that. And like Balfrey said, you'll be able to kind of mix and match your team. If you don't like a mon, you don't have to keep it for more than a week. So there'll be plenty of opportunities to upgrade your team and get the mons that you want to be able to use them. Mega Evolution is Z Captains. Now, this is generally a pretty highly contested part of draft format, and they do change a little bit based on how Surge format, how it works with the transactions. Basically, Mega Evolutions are going to be allowed. You definitely can have Mega Evolutions, but because of their point values and kind of fairness for lower tiers starting off the season, they're not going to be available to actually be drafted until about week 5, which is approximately halfway through the season. Again, it's more to keep it fair and more to keep you in budget because a lot of the Mega Evolutions are pretty expensive. Each coach must choose one Z Captain at the conclusion of the draft. As far as Z Captain rules, generally it's going to be anything that you want except for, Omni boosting or anything that boosts evasion. Pretty standard rules, but you can pretty much pick any captain you want. No additional costs. You don't have to pay a fee based on what tier they're in, or draft a specific crystal and you can only use a crystal. None of that. And what's kind of cool is you can change your Zmon every week. So let's say your Zmon to start is, I don't know, Masquerain, but you want it to be a low end Persian the next week. You pick that up in the draft. You just switch out your Z crystal and you're good to go. So it'll be an opportunity for you to have lots of different Z crystals, lots of different mons, and kind of use your team, to the best of your ability and to its full potential. But yeah, guys, that's basically what we have for Surge format. Again, it's not that complicated. Like Balfrey mentioned, pretty much one of the only deviations. Again, it's a big deviation because that's what the format's based around. But the transactions and the being able to draft every week are essentially the only major difference between that and a standard format. So once you have that process down of being available for a draft every week, and choosing which mod and making sure your budget's up to par, you should be good to go. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to Surge format this season.
Yeah, let's get it done. Surge format.
All right, guys. Hopefully we'll see you there.
All right, take care, everybody.